Hi everyone and welcome back. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about the monumental Mega-Stelliums we will be having in the signs of Aquarius and Pisces in this month of February 2024. I wanted to come on in advance and give you a little bit of foresight onto some of the major shifts that are coming in this month of February. I'm so excited to dive into this, everyone, because these two major stelliums that we're having in the signs of Aquarius and Pisces are going to bring about some major ending points in many of our lives. We're looking at major new chapters coming up. We're looking at most likely getting out of our comfort zone quite a bit and preparing to really shed a lot of excess burden and weight through the major changes coming later in this month. So initially, when I set out to make this video, I was going to focus it more on the Pisces stellium that's coming on the 28th of February. As I was looking through the charts, though, I noticed there was also an equally as large Aquarius stellium happening on the 14th and the 17th of February. So I'm going to try to devote time to both of those in this video, and we'll get some insight about the monumental nature of this time. So I will mark this in video chapters below, and I'm going to go ahead and look into the Aquarius stellium. So yes, as I'm looking at this Aquarius stellium that we have, which is really in on February 17th, we have Pluto, Venus, Mars, Mercury, and the Sun, as well as the minor asteroid of Chariklo in the sign of Aquarius. And this ranges all the way from 0 to 28 degrees of Aquarius. What does this mean for us? Okay, so we're going to get a lot of intel on the Pluto shift into the sign of Aquarius. This is going to be really, I think, our first major conscious realization of what change this represents in our own lives. People are going to start taking a more integrative approach. There's going to need to be more people coming onto the team. There's going to need to be more people working in tandem. And a lot of the major isolation culture that we've been dealing with over the last few years is going to start to fade or transition into more of an integrated energy. I also feel that we're going to blast out of some of our preconceived limitations. I'm seeing us getting out of our own jails or our own confinements that we've placed upon ourselves. I'm also seeing us go against some of the things that we used to think about ourselves. This is a very personalized transit with the sun leading the way, okay? By mid-February, the sun is outpacing, of course, Mercury, and behind the sun will be Pluto, Venus, Mars, Mercury, and Chariklo. And it's like this feeling of the real body, the real vital essence of us actually getting ahead of some of the minutia that has been overwhelming us. So it's like finally getting to the surface of things, finally, getting above water, okay, and not feeling so burdened and so weighed down. So what I predict for this period of time as we hit the midpoint of February and start to hit this major Aquarius stellium by the 17th of February is I feel that we start to transcend old limiters about, I can't do that. My economic status or my family background prevents me from being legitimate here, or, I have to repeat old cycles. I have to repeat things that I feel are a detriment to me in order to, for example, make bank, or in order to get a paycheck, or in order to feel tangibly validated in my real life. So that was some of the shadow coming from the previous Pluto and Capricorn. And now I think what I'm feeling is that we start to get proven wrong. So that's what I'll also predict for this period of time is being proven wrong about certain things, especially if they were kind of like pessimistic or self-limiting beliefs. For example, you think that some kind of job that you hate or some kind of set cycle that is feeling very negative to you is the only thing that you can be legitimate doing. Well, here you could see that that ends, or there's like a another path that invites you, and immediately it's more giving than the previous path, and this is very unexpected for a lot of people. as they start to relate to themselves completely differently, as those old ego versions get brought back into size by being proven wrong. So it's a very strong time of, for those of us who want to feel stronger through this or who are looking to level up or elevate here, I think detachment is going to be most important because I think everybody has a certain ego construct that may be proven wrong during this time. And that's only super difficult if we're very attached to a previous idea of ourselves that feels less relevant now. And another thing that I feel that we need to talk about with the Aquarius stellium coming later in February is the question of, do I step out on a new limb? Do I do something that I'm not sure will work, that I don't have the answer to, that I can't predict? A major part about the sign of Aquarius is general unpredictability. It's Uranus, right? So we can't really predict Uranus. We can't predict the sign of Aquarius. And it is oftentimes representing defiance of typical momentum. So this is what's tricky about this general period of time, being a very Aquarian period of time that we're in, like hyper Aquarian time period, is that those of us who feel a strong need to predict or feel a strong need to plan something bit by bit and fulfill that in such a strict and predetermined way, that's going to be the hardest thing here, okay? Because we're kind of not giving a lot of room for higher force macro to really provide something positive and unexpected. I think that the sweet point, though, in this transit, for those of us who are perhaps attached to predicting things, is that things also can't go as negatively as we might have anticipated. It's more of like a neutral thing that we have to make the best of or the worst of, and choosing that deliberately. So what's most important about this time is having some kind of purpose or internal, like solar plexus chakra is so good right now. Some kind of internal flame, some type of eternal vision that translates regardless of physical context. So this is where we actually start to, I'm really feeling this, like leaning into certain ultimate cause themes, leaning into certain validation points that are not so contingent on being in this place, in that program, in this exact lockstep formation, okay? Something that we can make work regardless feels important here. So it starts to definitely challenge the adaptability of some of our preconceived goals and sort of internal flame energy that we're holding. It's a wonderful time for developing the fire element because, of course, we have a lot of air here. Air and fire go hand in hand. So if you have any fire placements in your chart that have maybe been buried by this very strong earth energy we've had over these last few years, from the 2020 Capricorn stellium to having had Uranus and Jupiter here in Taurus, we have had a very earth period of time. And of course, we also have the moon in Gemini during this major point of the Aquarius stellium on the 17th of February, as well as the South Node in Libra. So we actually have a very strong grand air trine happening right before we get into this mega water Pisces stellium. So I feel like this window of like 15th to the 20th of February, that is really inculcating a greater warmth and masculine perseverance energy line that will get us through so much. So I recommend meditating on that and meditating on like, what do I need to access a sort of sacred fire masculine energy for? How do I need to cultivate that? And what systematic changes can I make in my life to keep that burning, to keep that going, and to not burn out? We can heal burnout also. I feel that's a great little nugget of wisdom for this period of time, middle February and late February. So both of these stelliums, okay, this is great. February 2024, a month where you can heal burnout. because this Aquarius stellium is going to reignite fire. So any lost fire that we've had is going to be reignitable. And then we may as well transition to the Pisces stellium portion of the video. That stellium is then going to soothe and heal any of the burns or any of the burdens or the mindsets, emotional complexes, etc., that are maybe contributing to the burnout. So there's kind of like a vital mission for some people here in February 2024 to really fast track a healing process. So in that case, it could be good for sabbaticals for some people, or just redoing some of the systemic elements of your life, moving, okay, changing scenery, implementing better systems, implementing better grids in general to heal some type of long-term turmoil. Okay, and fast forwarding a bit until February 23rd through February 28th, 2024, major Pisces stellium starts to crop up, and this is going to last throughout all of Pisces season. I will touch more on this in the March Comprehensive Astrology, because we basically get almost like every planet in Pisces. We're going to have like Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, all going through Pisces in March at some point in time. But we get initially a really incredible transit. I'm just orienting the chart here of Sun, Saturn, Mercury, Neptune initially in Pisces at the end of February. And that is going to send us straight into relevance and a lot of spiritual suddenness, I feel. There's a feeling of having to suddenly face a very spiritual component of our lives. I'm thinking that the veil is going to be very thin during this time. And of course, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we will be in the darkest point of the year before hitting the equinox in March. So this is a very vital ending period, I feel, for a lot of people. There's a major ending phase happening here. A way of life is ending, all right? And we will definitely touch more on this in March, but I feel like it's important here to really be restful, and it's important to also move things, or have moved things perhaps in the Aquarius season, into place or into more of a healing modality for many of us. If we have things that we know are off, or if we have things that we know are unaffordable in our lives, or if we have things that are draining us unnecessarily, as I feel that this Pisces stellium could indicate that as well. On the negative side, we're looking at being too drained. We're looking at putting too much energy into certain things, having things be way too expensive. Perhaps this could be an inflationary surge during this time as well. And one way or another, it feels to me that it's a very expensive period of time, and we have to get a little bit more, creative in how we spend of our time, money, and energy. And there's a great opportunity also for healing this. And on one hand, some people can definitely overspend here, but people can also really start to take back their power, or people can start to reserve as well, or pull back their, almost like their gravitational force here with this major Pisces stellium towards the end of February. I feel that a lot of people are sort of in a Four of Swords type of archetype there as well. Perhaps also like the Temperance archetype, 1 foot in and 1 foot out of things, but generating greater balance. And through this time, I feel that a lot of people will be cutting ties as well. Also, there's a likelihood of floods, okay? So a very wet period of time, lots of rain, lots of snow perhaps, raising waters, perhaps water damage, erosion, something to do with like the plumbing of houses as well. Water systems, irrigation could be definitely having to be worked on during this time. Like there could be failure of water systems, and some people might be having to redo like their houses' water systems. And it's a great period of time to work on that with Saturn, okay, in Pisces. And you might also see that at a more spiritual level, the way that energy is flowing through your body, or the way that also you're processing or structuring your own energetic system in your life, almost like a water system of a house, could be up for a change here. Things could be kind of run down or deteriorated, and that could be leading to a greater loss of energy overall, or a waste of energy, or perhaps just a lack of flow somewhere. So like blockages of energy, blockages of water, blockages of life force energy. Something's not flowing right, but through this Pisces stellium, and I think through March, we're going to see that the flow reorients itself, or that something can actually be cured at a very deep level, but it comes sort of concomitant with allowing ourselves to be more trusting with the universe and not totally blocking off or walling off, or even, this is harsh, but like imprisoning ourselves in preconceived limitations or confinements. You see, when we do that, that starts to mirror itself in certain themes like poverty or lack of resources, lack of just general archetype of lack, also escapism or addiction coming up also with this Pisces stellium. Anything relating to alcoholism, anything relating to drug addictions, okay, anything relating to poverty, poor spending habits. All of these things will come up very strongly in February and March, and it takes quite a survivalist and gritty nature to face these things head on and resolve them once and for all. But that is indicated during this time, and I think that that will be a big focus for the March comprehensive astrology, will be how do we access a sort of balanced, not burning out type of survivalism and resolution seeking to the degree that we can overcome some of these grids of energy loss without being too heavy-handed, without being compulsively focused on the minutia, and without getting detached too much from the higher forces or more macro energy that we need to place more trust in. So yes, at the most mundane level, I think that this is going to be a very powerful period of time where we're crossing bridges, okay? Of course, we will have the dragon year fully in, which I will also soon make a video about. So hit the subscribe button below and turn on the bell notifications if you would like to understand more about the most high-flying energy of the Chinese astrology system, which is the dragon archetype. Yes, we are in a dragon year in 2024. And we have to really build our way out of some of the pits, in some cases, that some of us have found ourselves in. And also we have to know that we've developed a certain strength of character or a certain strength of mind, body, and spirit that has the capacity also to change things once it realizes that things are off. And for a lot of us, that's going to come through this Aquarius and Pisces stellium this year. Anyway, everyone, I think that I'll go ahead and wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the links below. You can get my free monthly newsletter by signing up to the mailing list below. This channel is on Patreon if you would like to support and make this channel possible, as well as access a lot of premium content, including weekly forecasts and monthly sign-by-sign forecasts, which are only available over there. Also, you can thumb through the other relevant links. I have an ebook called Moon Symbols. I have other social media presences. And I'm really looking forward to sharing a lot of new content forms with you all later this year. Have a wonderful 2 Mega-Stelliums of Aquarius and Pisces in February. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great one. Bye.